Hi guys, it's been a while. We're going to do another Dad and Mad's film review. We haven't done one for a few months. I've been busy working. She's been busy having a social life. And we've watched a couple of films, and a couple of times I've fell asleep during them and have ruined the review, or like I say, we've just been busy. So this is the first one we're going to do in a while. It's a popular film. It was massive in the 80s, and it's called Ferris Buellers Day Off. Anyone around my age, which is about 85, would have seen this film. It was a big film in the 80s. It was directed by John Hughes, who was just a pure superstar director in the 80s. He done Pretty in Pink, Weird Science, which is awesome, The Breakfast Club, National Lampoons, the list goes on and on. He was just gold dust during the 80s. The film's from 1986, which is the only time Liverpool won the double. And we've just watched it. So it stars Matthew Broderick, the Bird Out of Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey, and one of the fittest birds of the 80s was called Maya Sara, some Italian bird. He didn't really do many other films, but that's the basic information. Do you want to explain to them and tell them what the film's about?
Yeah. So there's this boy called Ferris Bueller, and he wants to skip school, so he fakes that he's sick, and it starts off with just a few little lies and escalates into something massive. He's staying off with all his friends and stuff. And
what do we call it when someone stays off school when they're not supposed to?
Bunking or something.
Bunking, skipping, missing school. Yeah, any of them. Go on, carry on.
So he goes out with his friend Cameron, and takes his dad's car and everything, the fancy Ferrari, goes to parades and stuff, just everywhere. Okay,
well, so what happens? The main character is Ferris Bueller. Obviously, he's the cool kid in school. Everyone loves him. He's quite witty and smart, and do you know what I mean? The teachers can't stand him, but he's just a cool kid. He's going out with the hot girl in school, but he's had 9 days off that semester, and if he has one more off, then he's not going to graduate. That's the basis of the story. But he doesn't want to go to school. He wants to, or high school. He wants to have the day off and go out with his mates. His mate, as Matt just said there, his best mate's called Cameron. He's a manic depressant. Doesn't like to do anything. He's got mad daddy issues. He's always moaning. He always thinks he's sick. And his girlfriend is called Sloane. Like I say, he was like the high school fitty. And together, the three of them, they hatch a plan to get the girl out of school with a dead relative. And then they end up taking Cameron's dad's vintage Pride and Joy, which is a Ferrari, which has got 100 miles on the clock, and it all just stems from there. So where did he go? What did he do?
They go to parades.
They go to parade. They blag themselves into a dead posh restaurant, pretending that they're really really rich, and they blag themselves into that. They go to a posh spa. They drive the dad's car around everywhere. They leave the car in the hands of some really moody garage owners who take the car for a mad spin. The dog. What else did they do? But the best thing and the most iconic scene of the film, and probably one of the 80s, is when Ferris Bueller gets involved in a carnival or a parade that's going through the street. He gets up on a float and he starts singing. I can't even remember what song it is that he sings now. What song does he sing?
I can't
Twist and Shout. He sings Twist and Shout, and the whole town or the whole city all start joining in, and they're all miraculously doing the same dance routine, all that type of stuff. But it is really good. It's a really good feel-good film. The moral of the story isn't the best, because what's it teaching you?
To skip school.
To skip school and you'll have an absolutely belter of a time.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So wouldn't recommend that, but it's just done with real class. It moves really quickly. It's funny. It's got a couple of heartfelt moments in it when Cam's not happy with his relationship with his dad. And there's a really good dynamic with his sister, who's the girl out of Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey. She hates him. She's jealous. Everyone loves him. He's dead popular and she can't stand it. So she spends the entire film trying to basically grass him up. The high school principal, I don't even know his name, some ginger fella who's absolutely vile, isn't he? All the way
Ed
through
Rooney.
it. Ed Rooney, yeah, his name's Ed Rooney. I meant like in real life. But Principal Rooney, and he's just vile. He's determined. He hates Ferris Bueller. He thinks he's an absolute tit, and he wants him out of school. Well, actually, he doesn't want him out of school. He wants to stop him from graduating so he can keep him for another year.
Why do you want to keep him now? Who doesn't like him?
Because he doesn't like him. That's right.
It's crazy.
So he ends up going out of school and breaking into their house and getting assaulted and getting bit by dogs and all that type of stuff. And it is a really good film. Like I say, come out in 1986. It was a massive hit, done like over £70 million that year, which is mental for a film in 1986. Do you know what I mean? It was quite a small budget. Like I say, at the time, John Hughes was just gold dust. Every film he done was just mental. And IMDb give it quite a high score of 7.8, which is decent for a comedy, especially what's basically a teenage movie. Do you know what I mean?
I personally think it should be higher, but...
Well, we'll come to that in a sec. So it gets that. It does really well. The whole film, the lie gets out of hand. You start seeing little signs, don't you? Like Save Ferris and stuff.
Yeah. There was like a sign, a big giant pink, bright pink sign with Save Ferris in big lights.
Yeah.
At one point. And then a hot air balloon with Save Ferris on. It's crazy.
And at one point his sister gets arrested and everyone in the precinct, all the coppers and all that, all the police officers say, "Hope your brother's getting better." And people start collecting for a new kidney, all that type of stuff. It gets out of hand, but it is really, really good fun. Nice, easy going film. It's suitable for any ages. There's one or two swear words, not a major. There's no violence. There's just nothing really. There's nothing above what a kid can watch.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be watching it.
Of course, she wouldn't be watching it. Yeah, it's just a boss film. I don't know anyone my age who hasn't seen Ferris Bueller. I just don't. Even Brian didn't. Even the dog didn't make a noise while it was on, so he was sound.
He was asleep by the fire.
What was your favourite part?
When he got up and danced at the parade, that was really good.
Yeah, that's probably my favourite part.
You just felt excited. Not excited, but you felt happy when he was doing it. It wasn't like...
Yeah.
You weren't
like,
just sitting staring at a screen. You were actually moving when you were doing it. Because it was actually
Well, it's one of the most famous scenes from a film in the 80s or 90s. It really is. But yeah, it's a really good film, really good. IMDb give it 7.8. I'm gonna ask Madison what she'd give it, but we've only done 3 reviews so far, and she thinks every film she's seen is the best film she's ever seen. So we're noticing a trend. But so, what would you give it out of 10? And why?
I think I would give it 8.5.
Why?
Because it was really good. But I think if it was newer, it could have been a bit better.
Sound. So she gives it 8.5, and I think for the first time ever, I'm going to give a higher mark than her. So I would go about 8.7.
Oh, it's not far off.
Kind of the same reasons that Mads has just said then. I think it's just a real good film, real feel-good film. You watch the whole film, it just breezes past in like an hour and a half without batting an eyelid. I understand why she thinks it could be newer, because she's dead young and they're all dead stupid. But I think it's aged really well. I think it's aged really well. They could remake it, but it'd just be some idiot Disney Channel kid who plays the part, and it wouldn't have the same charisma or anything like that. So I think it's aged really well. Some of those films haven't. That one has. So I'd give it 8.7. She'd give it 8.5. That means it averages out 8.6, which is a good film. Do you know what I mean? Comedies don't usually get really high scores, but this does. Mad said before when it finished, they could make a second one, but I think that ship sailed. It's like 30 years ago.
When it was like made, a couple of years after that, I think if they made the second one, they'd still be making them now.
Well, there you go. But sometimes I think they make too many, so a one-off is a classic. Do you know what I mean? And that John Hughes fella isn't known for making more than one film. So that's it, folks. It's our first review in a while. Leave your comments, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll post that on Twitter. And retweet and get involved and let us know what you think. I'm Dad.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you soon. We'll start doing them more often. Okay? Ta-ra.
Bye.